Okay, so we're gonna do my monthly for the month of February, and I'm using my same 2022 planner by Luxbook. It's the Hello Gorgeous planner. So it opened up here on my end of January kind of like overview. I will hopefully have that video up probably next week. Is gonna be my plan. I've been having camera issues getting back into the swing of things, and the overview camera the camera angle I had like of me actually doing it did not work out. So I gotta probably do similar to what I'm doing now and do a voiceover of the whole thing, because with my video today my overhead camera, I just got an overhead tripod thing, and I had a similar issue. But anyway, it's my end of month monthly highlights is what I'm showing here. And doing the end of month highlights, kind of like a quick highlight at the end of the month, helps me jumpstart into February. And then usually probably like the second or third business day of a new month, I'll go back and do a little bit more end of the year reviewing. Okay, so new month, we are in the month of February, which is crazy because I feel like the new year just started. But we were sick for a majority of January, so it kind of makes sense that it's already February. So you can kind of see I'm showing how I set up my months, and you can see I will go ahead and put things on my February. I have it on my March, and I think I did on my April, where if I know something is going on, like my daughter's basketball tournament, I'll go ahead and put it on my calendar just in case, so that way I know it's there. And I also do it for those national days, like national, I don't know, chew gum and walk down the corner of a street day, national blow your hair in the wind day. I'll put it on for these months as well, so that way every month I'm not going back to that website trying to figure out what it is that month. I already have it here. So like for March 1st is National, what is that, Solo Vacation Day. I would love to take a solo vacation. Don't think it's gonna happen for me March 1st, but a girl can dream, right? So I think, and then I was showing that I did the same thing for April. So I do it for a few months at a time. That way it's already there. And then I set up my February calendar. And then what I'm showing here is sometimes just on a random page, I'll write like a little note of something that I want to eventually put in my planner. So, Janet Jackson just had her new buyout that came out. So I know I want to journal about it. And I put it in my February month because I have not watched it yet. And I probably won't watch it until actual February. So that goes there. And right now I'm scrolling back to my January, maybe? I don't know where I'm going. Okay, I don't know where I'm going. But we're back to my February, and let's get to planning. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my January, the one that I actually numbered on the monthly overview. I'm going to select my text boxes, and I'm gonna grab my numbers, copy them, that way I can paste it into my February monthly overview. And I saw a video on YouTube on how to do this, how to quickly number your planner. And I want to say it was on Luxbook. I think it was Kristen from Luxbook that showed how she quickly dates her planner. And basically you date the first month, January, and then you just copy and paste the numbers. Put your numbers for the first day to be correct. So February starts on a Tuesday, February 1st. So you put the first one there, you put those numbers, and then you paste it again, those same numbers, and then you fill in the right side of the calendar. So everything to the right of the first. And boom, there you go. You already have everything numbered. And then you just go in and delete the extra numbers, the numbers that don't actually fit, on the days, because there's no day before a Sunday or anything. I don't know if I deleted 29, 30, and 31 on my calendar. Now that I'm looking back at this. Okay, so I may have to go and double check to make sure I did that. So here I'm thinking about, how do I want to number my big calendar? So my main calendar for the month, I decorate that. That's the one that I decorate a lot. You can see here on my January one, I did a new year, new me, new year, better me. Not new me, better me. Better me. I used some date stickers to decorate it. I used, I want to say it was Love Janelle's New Year sticker pack. I used that for my January. So here you'll see I am removing the bookmarks that I don't need, and I'm going to add February to my bookmarks. That way it's just a little bit easier for me to get back and forth from February to January, because there are some things that I'm going to copy and paste one from the other. And by having the bookmarks, it just makes it easier to go from one to the other. So here I'm looking for some stickers to use. And my thought process for doing February was, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make my calendar Valentine's Day, love, romance focused, or if I wanted it to be Black History Month focused. Which, if you saw the thumbnail, it ended up being Black History Month focused. That's what I wanted to do, because Black History is, of course, 365 for me. But Black History Month is the whole month versus Valentine's Day being just that one day. So I decided to look for stickers that would go with Black History Month, which for me, I was looking for the Pan-African colors, red, yellow, green, black, and the ones that y'all just saw me go through were not it, right? They were pastel colors, and it just wasn't gonna be what I was looking for. So I decided that I needed to and this is where I found out that they were pastel colors, and I was like, oh, well, that's why the red doesn't look red, that's why the orange doesn't look orange, the green, all the colors. So once I saw that they were pastel colors, I was like, oh, I think I'm just gonna have to make my own stickers. So that kind of daunted me for a little bit. So I decided to instead look to see what kind of stickers I can use to decorate. I normally do start off with dating my planner, but the idea of making my own every day was just like on my mind. So this is a sticker kit from Ashley Dewberry, I believe is her name. I'm in a Facebook group for digital planning, and she has these stickers that she created for Black History Month. So I went and was like, let me see which stickers I want to use in doing my planner. So the first one that I knew I wanted to use was the Power Fist in the Pan-African colors. I don't know where it was going to go, so I'm just sticking it on there for right now. Like, we're just going to stick it here and figure out where it's going to go later. The other thing that I used from her sticker book was a collection of hands, and I don't know if I grabbed that initially off top, but that was the other thing that I used. So here I am going to start doing my stickers to date my month. So I just started off with a simple circle for me to do each of the dates, similar to how the circles are in my January monthly planner. And I'm just trying to get the size right to see exactly how big or small I wanted it. And then, of course, the idea popped on my mind, like, of course, Glenora, just go back to your January one, look to see what size those stickers are, and then you can use that to compare to the circle that you're creating, right? So I go back to my January, I copy one of the stickers, then pop back over to my February. See how that's so much easier now that both are bookmarked, instead of trying to swipe through all of the different pages. So here I'm just seeing how it compares, which my circle is a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna resize it to make it similar in size to what I use for January, because I like the size of the January one, right? So I get my circle right, and then I'm just going to start dating my planner and seeing which numbers I like. And listen, trying to find a font that you like can be one of the most daunting things, especially when you have a lot of different fonts and you don't really know what direction you plan on taking with your planner, right? You don't know if you want it to be fun. You don't know if you want, well, all my planners are fun, but you don't know if you want it to be like whimsical, if you want it to be like really bold, if you want it to be, you know, like cursive-y. Is that a word? Cursive-y? I don't know, but y'all know what I mean. You just don't know what vibe you want your planner to take, you know, or not the planner, but the page to take. And having so many different fonts can sometimes be like, ugh. I do have my favorites, but here I am just going through trying to see which one do I like. And I think, y'all, I honestly just settled on a regular, like, but I think it was Badani maybe, or Dot. I don't know if Dot is. Oh no, I think I did this one. I think I did this one, Gangfield. Maybe? I don't know. I don't even remember which one that I did. Maybe I did that one, Baskerville. I can't remember. Either way, I ended up liking it. So yeah, that was the one I went with. What did I just say that was? Baskerville. Because I felt like it was a good, like a neutral font, you know what I mean, where it's not whimsical like the one that I copied from my January planner. You saw how like that one, that 6 was like really whimsical and very, you know, playful. That's a good word. Very whimsical and playful. And I just went with a very standard, like, boom, this is the font. So here I'm copy and pasting it for each day, and putting the corners in the corner of the day, just so that I know all of them are aligned, everything is equal, everything is, you know, horizontally and vertically on the same level. So putting it right there in the corner definitely helped me with that. Okay, so I'm gonna speed through this, do this at 10 times speed, just so that it goes a little bit faster as I date this part of the planner. I want to try and keep most of it in real time, but there will be some things that I just speed through, and that's one of them. So I have my dates in, and I knew that I wanted to bring in the Pan-African colors. So I had this idea of doing 1 week red, 1 week yellow, 1 week green, and 1 week black. So here you'll see that I'm changing the color of my dates to make them red, yellow, green, and black. Now the yellow I had problems with. Like, y'all see that yellow? It's like highlighter yellow. It's so bright, and I was like, I don't know if I like that. I was like, this ain't a good look. So I was looking at different yellows, but that looked, you know, like mustardy. I didn't like it. I kept going with it for right now because I was like, let me see, you know, how it'll look. But I was looking at that yellow like, I don't like that. So you see, I'm gonna keep going, because I was like, maybe once it's all, you know, once the green is done and the black is done, it'll look a little bit better. But it didn't. It did not. So I'm just looking at it like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it yellow. I just was not feeling it at all. So I then decided, okay, maybe I'll just do 2 colors, where I'll do, I think I decided red and black. I didn't want to do red and green because I felt like that was real Christmassy, you know. But I decided, okay, let's just do 14 days one color, and then the next 14 days another color. And so I'm gonna change the yellow to green, and I changed the yellow to red. Excuse me, I changed the yellow to red, and then I'm gonna change all of the green to black. And then I was thinking, you know, like I'll just use all of the actual events on the calendar, right, to bring in the green, since I didn't want red and green in the dates to make it bring a Christmas vibe. Like red and green just screams Christmas. So when you do it somewhere else and there's not like that coordinating color, accompanying color, I automatically think Christmas, even though red and green is not exclusive to Christmas, right? So I started changing the events on my calendar to be in green, because I was like, okay, maybe that's the way that I can, you know, throw a little bit of green in there, coordinate it with it, you know, that sort of thing. And it's gonna stay like this for a while. I can't remember at what point in my planning that I was like that I fixed the dates to be what I wanted it to be. So it's gonna be like this for a majority of the video. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go back to my January and just start copying and pasting from January to February, the things that I know are going to remain, right? So my daughter is on the basketball team. She's gonna have basketball practice 4 days pretty much every week. You'll see here I was trying to go to double check the dates that I had for practice with our app where he puts the calendar, but I'm signed in on my phone. I'm not signed in on my iPad, so that was a bust. But so I'm gonna add her basketball practice to the calendar first. Okay, so here you'll see I'm adding her basketball practice. I sped this up a lot because I actually made a mistake, and you can see I had to correct it. So now that her basketball practices are added, I'm gonna add her soccer practices. She has soccer practice Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So you see I'm just gonna copy it from my January, and then I'm gonna hop over to my February calendar, and I'm going to paste it on the Saturdays for February. Okay, so now that I have my daughter stuff done, this is all for one child, y'all. I'm going to put the one national day I put on here was Black Love Day, which they say is on February 13th. So I'm going to add that to February 13th. Now, I'm telling you now, that's not actually February 13th where I added the Black Love Day. This is when I realized, hey, Quinora, you may want to actually number your calendar instead of having the 25th for every single day. So I'm gonna go in and type in the correct numbers instead of having 25 for every single day. And by numbering this, I realized I put Black Love Day on the wrong day. Okay, so here I'm literally going in with each of the text boxes and using my keyboard to change all of the days so that way they are the correct days instead of them all being 28th. And I fixed my Black Love Day. So now I'm gonna go to my calendar. I keep everyone's schedule pretty much either on my in my brain or on our calendar. We have a shared calendar. I have 3 daughters, and then I have my husband. So each of us have our own calendar, and then we have a family calendar, things where all of us need to be at or all of us need to be aware of. So I keep everything on our Apple calendar because we can all have different, and that's where you see all the color coordination. So anything that's not a regular scheduled event, you know, I know a regular scheduled event is my daughter's practice. I don't have to put that on the calendar. Regular scheduled event, Tuesdays and Thursdays she has soccer practice. Those type of things I don't put on the calendar, but it's other stuff. So you can see on this one, we are going to a play at a local college here. Well, kind of local. college here, so I want to make sure I add that to the calendar. I add any type of major events to the calendar, so that way if someone was to say, hey Quinora, or even with my Chris even with my husband, if someone says, hey Chris, can we do XYZ on whatever day, the major stuff is on our calendar, our shared calendar, and also in my planner calendar, so that way at quick glance I can say, yes, I'm available this day, no, I'm not available this day. And it just helps so that I don't overload myself. It helps so that my husband can kind of know, do we need to leave the house today? If especially on the weekends, because he is very low-key, very laid back. He which is kind of strange because he's also an extrovert and he will talk to any and everybody, but he don't want to be out in these streets at no shopping centers or anything else, or going out doing stuff if he don't have to be, right? So this helps so that way we know what everyone's supposed to be doing, where they're supposed to be. So here I'm putting on our girls' school presentations. We started doing this new thing where if the girls want to essentially convince me and Chris of something, you have to present it to me, right? Tell me the reasons why. Tell me, present it to me. You know what I mean? And I think we're going to kind of upgrade that into maybe even like a practice debate. I don't know yet. I think that may be too much. But the thing I want one of the things I want my children to be able to do is articulate their thought process, right? So if you want to achieve A, B, C, or if you want A, B, and C, you have to be able to articulate, why do you want this? And not just for other people, but also for yourself. A lot of people will say, I want $1 million. Why do you want $1 million? You want $1 million just because? Do you want $1 million to give for legacy? Do you want $1 million so you can go buy the latest and greatest? You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to have that thought process, right? To understand that for every great dream, for every big goal, there are a million little steps and decisions to reach up to that thing, whatever that thing is for you. And so I want them to be able to understand that. And that kind of stems from, little stuff like if everyone says they want a clean house, right? You want a clean house. You want a house that looks Pinterest worthy. You want a house that looks magazine worthy. Part of that is keeping the shit clean, right? So that means the thought process. How can I keep a clean house? Oh, well, maybe I can make sure I clean up my clothes every day. Oh, maybe that means if I see something on the floor, I pick it up, right? So yeah, thought process. So they have these presentations that they're doing for us. One of them is on the schools they want to go to. Here in Texas, they can essentially go to whatever school they want, as long as you provide the transportation. And I don't even think you have to have really a valid reason, right? So right now they're at a STEM school, and my oldest wants to go to a different school for high school. So they have to present to us and tell us why they want to go to this school. So they have that presentation, and then they have a presentation on money. They want their own money. And on one hand, this year we started to give them an allowance, because I don't want my kids to work right now. And I know that sounds weird coming from someone like me, where I started working 14, 15 years old. I was working, and I've been working every year since then. I'm always the one, let me find a job, let me find a side thing, let me, always working. The problem with that is once you start working, it's hard to ever slow down and stop, right? So I want to prolong them from needing to start working as long as I can. Because once you start, that's it, baby. Like, I guess for me, like, until I retire, I'm working. You know what I mean? And they have a lot of different things that I want them to be involved in. So working just is not one of them. But they, are at that point where they want their own money. They want to make their own way a little bit. So they're going to do a presentation to us on why, how, all that on making money. So that's their money presentation. So here, all I've been doing pretty much is putting stuff from my calendar onto my monthly page, and then I'm changing the font because OMG, that whimsical font, it just wasn't what I needed for this spread. It just wasn't what I needed. So I'm changing everything to Gen Plans. Gen Plans is kind of my default font because it's very what's the word? It's very handwritten-y, and I'm fairly confident handwritten-y is not a word, but it's a handwritten font, right? And I don't write with my pencil into my planner. I told myself I was going to try this year, but I want to get a paper sheet before I do that. But yeah, so I don't use my actual handwriting. But Gen Plans is very much similar, I think, to how my handwriting is. So that's my go-to font. And so that's what I'm doing here is I'm updating my font, which I should have did before I started putting all of this stuff on the calendar. But hey, you live and you learn. So let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's all I'm doing right here. Adding stuff to the calendar. We're gonna go see a show later on this month. See Kevin Hart, he's coming here, which I'm glad because we don't get a lot of Black entertainment here. So to finally have some sort of Black entertainment, we were like, yes, we gotta go. We got to be there. Got to be in the building, Okay, so now, excuse me. So now what I'm doing is looking to see what I can use to decorate my Valentine's Day. And so I keep my GoodNotes formatted stickers in a folder titled stickers. And then my other stuff, like just regular PNG files, I keep that as elements inside of GoodNotes. And so I'm definitely using my Cookie Girl. I absolutely love these cookie stickers. I'm really hoping she kind of delves more into digital stickers a little bit more. I completely understand, why a lot of paper sticker companies don't kind of like delve into digital stickers as much. I completely get it, but I really hope she comes up with some new stickers because I love her digital stickers and I love her cookie character, and it could be just because I have a fro too. I be feeling her. So here I'm looking for what am I looking for here? Oh, I was looking for Valentine's Day. So I wanted like a pretty way to put Valentine's Day onto my planner. And so one of the stickers that I have, and I don't even know where I got it from, is the date. And I don't know. I don't want to lie. So I got these stickers, and they're black on black. So it took me a while to find the one that said Valentine's Day. But I decided I think I want to put it on my monthly overview versus my big calendar, because that's what I did on my January one as well. So I put it on my monthly overview versus my big calendar one. And so here I'm just going to try and play around and see how do I want to put Black Love Day and Valentine's Day, because those are 2 days that they're not just a normal day, right? I want them to stand out a little bit from all of the extras, all the other stuff that I have going on my calendar. So what did I do first? I started playing around with font, which I am really feeling this font, Gangfield. It's another cursive font. I usually use that, or I use Cynthia. But with Cynthia, like, she don't look good with uppercase letters. Like, you see that? I don't like Cynthia with uppercase letters. Like, if I do Cynthia, she has to be all lowercase. So I loved the way Gangfield looked. So I'm gonna play around a little bit with how I want the Black Love Day to actually be. So one thing that I learned to do is sometimes I like the font, right? I like the font size, but because of the spacing, it makes it too big for the box. So I'm changing up the line spacing to be a little bit smaller. It brings the words, closer together, so the space in between isn't as much. Just playing around, seeing, okay, maybe I like it that way. I'm gonna try and look at what color do I want the Black Love Day to be in. I didn't want to do, when I was going through this first, I didn't want it to be red because I knew I wanted Valentine's Day in red. But I didn't want something as, I just didn't want black because everything else is in black, right? So I'm gonna play around. I'm gonna see what it looks like, and this is sometimes, what a lot of us do, we zoom out, zoom in, zoom out to kind of see how it looks. I did not like the way that it was looking. I wanted the words to interact, and I know that's probably not the right word, but I wanted them to interact with one another. It just looks so blah right there, right? It looked very, very blah. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I looked at the line spacing. Okay, that's not what I did. The first thing I went and did was put Valentine's Day. I put Valentine's Day on there. And because Cookie is kind of taking up February 14th, I resized it so that way I could do it at an angle. And I know for sure I changed Valentine's Day to red. Okay. To be red. And then I go back to my Black Love Day because I was not feeling the way it was looking. I go back to it and try and see, different colors. And the first thing I did was, all the same color. And then I said, let's just do different colors. So I changed Black and Day to be black, left Love the way it was. And I think now is where I was like, let me play with the line spacing a little bit more to see if I can get the words to be really close together. So you saw when you put them close together, it just looks a little bit better. And then I even smushed them up so much to where they were kind of overlapping each other. And I was like, ooh, I think I like that, right? So here you're going to see me trying to maneuver the days to where it's all still in one text box and they're able to be how I want it to be. But it didn't work. Eventually what I had to do was do 3 different text boxes for each word, and then I was able to put them where I wanted them to be and where I wanted them to live. So I finally got it to where I liked it to be, which is here, I think. I'm not sure. But now looking at this, I didn't even realize I accidentally put a capital K on black. And I'm looking at my planner now and I see I did it. I left it there on my planner. I don't know how I didn't notice that before until now. But, we can fix that. So I'm also adding on my calendar, what I also add on my calendar is new shows. So, you see these commercials for new movies, new shows that be coming out, and I'm the type of person where I will forget. I'll be like, ooh, that trailer look good, I want to see that, and I never see it. So I'm going to put it on here. I put Proud Family comes back. I was an avid Proud Family watcher, and I love me some Kyla Pratt. So I will be right there on my Disney Plus, probably not on Wednesday, but maybe like that Thursday or something, and I'm gonna be right there watching Proud Family when it comes back. So I add that stuff to my calendar as well. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to my stickers, and I'm actually gonna go back to Ashley's sticker set that she created and she uploaded in our Facebook group of her Black History Month stickers, and I'm gonna go back to that and add a sticker on that I it was just on my mind, so I had to go back to add it to my planner. You see I was having a hard time finding it, which I really need to go ahead and rename that, because you see it's called Stickers I Made. I need to rename that, and that's why I was having so much problems finding it. But I really loved the hands, the fist, I really loved that, and it just stayed in my mind the whole time that I was doing this planner, this spread. So I was like, I definitely want it at the bottom, because you have this whole row, right? You have all this space at your disposal, since February is a short month. So it's like, no, like I want, you know, that part of it, to that image to be a part of it. I still don't know where I want my fist. I know that I have this big space that I need to find something to fit in it, and I just didn't know what I was going to fit there. I just had absolutely no clue. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a quote. I wasn't sure at all just what I wanted to do. So, I mean, of course, I went back to my stickers. I didn't find anything. So I went to my camera roll, because I recently bought some Black History Month PNGs and SVGs. So I was like, let me go look in there and see what I have. I had this one, which I really love, this I Am History kind of a motif. And then I had these other two, but they have white. So you see, okay, you can kind of see the white lettering. So I was like, I don't think that's gonna really work for my white background. I didn't have any plans at this point to redo or to do a whole new background. So these two stickers that I added, they had that white letter, and that was just gonna throw it off, right? Or I would have to do a whole colored background, like a black background, a red black background, you know, something like that. And I just knew it just wasn't gonna work. So I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So off to Google we go. Like, if you ever have a brain fart, just go to Google and you can find whatever it is that you are looking for. So don't mind my last search for Grand Crew. I love that show. That was part of my in the month for January. So I'm just gonna look here to see what images are on Google Images that I can potentially use in my planner. So I just kind of look through these to see, okay, which ones do I like, which ones don't I like. And you just gotta see which ones fit what you're looking for. And at this point, I didn't really know what I was looking for. I didn't know what I was looking for, but what I did know was that those two PNGs at the top with the white lettering wasn't going to work at all. I had absolutely no plans to create like a red background or some other color black background. It just wasn't going to happen. So I went ahead and just added those to my elements. That way I could add some other, like this one that I actually wanted to add. And I'm gonna also add the one at the bottom, the motif, I Am Black History. I added that to my elements too because it just wasn't vibing with what I was going with. I think this one ended up being real pixely, so that's the downside to kind of using images from Google, is because you're, I don't want to be like you stealing, but because you're borrowing these images from Google, sometimes they can be very pixelated. I'm pretty sure there's a way that you could go to like the actual website and download it, and that way it wouldn't end up being so pixely. Yeah, you see, it's so pixely. I just don't be having time for all that. Either it's gonna work right or I'll find something else. So I'm just gonna look through to see what else it is that I like. And the one thing that popped up that I loved was that heart. So you see that heart right there? I really like that heart. Of course, I didn't like that it was on a white background. I didn't need something else that said Black History Month. So I saved the image to my actual iPad, and then I used the Magic Eraser app to remove the background, so that way it became a PNG. So you'll see I'm gonna take out the white background, and then I'm just going to erase all of the Black History part of it as well. I don't need that. I already have something that says Black History Month. I just wanted the heart. So I'm gonna save that, and when I save it, now it becomes a PNG. It has a transparent background, so I can get rid of the one that I have down there. I'm gonna crop it so that way, okay, you can see, so that way it's a lot smaller and it's only the size of my heart versus, you know, that big space that it was before. I really, really liked that heart. And then I'm just gonna put it here to try and see, where do I want it? How do I like it? And I'm always a person, and I think I got this from Kristen with Luxe Book. I love something going off of the page. Like, let it go, like you only see a part of it. Like, let it go off the page a little bit. So that's what I did, just with a little peekaboo with the heart. Just a little bit off of the page. The biggest thing is just putting it on the page, so that way you can kind of see all of the elements. And then once you see everything that you want on the page, then you can, you know, start really like decorating or really designing, really, you know, making it cohesive and a love, right? So I'm just looking through Google to see if there's anything else that I'm feeling, and I am not. So I was like, let's just work with what we got. Okay, so next we're going to tackle the February in the middle, because I don't like it. So I'm going to take some white space and take a screenshot. That way I can cover up my February, and then I can try and figure out, how do I want my month at the top. And really, I didn't know. Like, I just didn't know. I didn't know how I wanted the month of February to be. I didn't know if I wanted it to be, you know, in a fancy font. I didn't know if I wanted it to match the Jen plans. Like, I think this is ultimately what I went with, is gang feel. You're gonna see, I'm gonna try out some different fonts while I try and figure out what it is I wanted. And that's kind of the biggest thing when you're doing pages like this, is you really don't know, at least for me, sometimes I don't know what I want it to look like, but I know what I don't want it to look like. Does that make sense? So here I am playing around with the elements at the top to try and figure out, do I want this over here? Do I want it over there? Do, you know, where do I want everything to go? Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure that part out. And there's really not like a step-by-step. It's just moving things here, moving things there. Do I like it here? Do I like it there? Do I not like it here? Do I not like it there? That's really all you can do, at least for me, because, you know, this is something that I'm not like trained or went to school for design or anything like that. It's all just, we'll see. So here I am taking a screenshot so I can figure out what color something is. So I really liked the yellow in Black History Month, you see? So I went to find out, okay, what's this hex code? That's this hex code. And here I'm going to go back to my original idea of the 4 colors for the month. So you see, I'm gonna highlight the 8th through the 14th, and I'm gonna color it that yellow. So to make sure I don't forget the color, whatever color it is I'm gonna start working with, I go to my pen and I add it as a preset, so that way I know exactly where it is. So I'm gonna go and just turn on my text boxes, so I only pick up those particular dates that I'm looking for, and then I'm gonna recolor those dates. Did I not color Saturday? To that yellow. I forgot to turn on my handwriting because the circles I used a pencil to do, so I had to turn that on. And so that yellow that I found is the very last one. So I'm gonna change that week to yellow, and then I'm gonna change the other ones to green, but I didn't like how the black and the green were together, so I decided to change the reds to green and then put the red in the middle, so that way it breaks it up a little bit, right? So now I have my 4 weeks at the 4 different colors like I wanted them to be. So I was doing good. So now I had to tackle all this white space down at the bottom, and I had to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with these things. So the first thing I had to tackle was this fist. Where was I going to put this thing? So I really liked it being up there at the top. So once I had that figured out, then it was, what am I going to do with the rest of this at the bottom? So I knew I wanted to put a quote there, and instead of doing like a sticker quote, I said I can just type my own quote. So here you see me going back to good old Google and I'm searching through to try and see if there's any quotes already there. So I'm gonna search for Black History Month quotes and see what's a good quote that I can use. And instead of it being like a big sticker there, it'll be just something that I type, or something like that. So I'm looking through to kind of see which quote resonates with me the most. And there were a few. There was a couple that I was like, yes, I'm with it. The first one being the Maya Angelou quote right there at the top. I am all about us learning our history. Our history is not taught in schools. It's not going to be given to us. You have to want to learn your history. And so there was a lot about my history that I did not learn until I went to an HBCU. And when I went to an HBCU, and it was like, it opened up so many doors for me on learning the true history of being Black in America, right? About being Black in America. So the Maya Angelou quote stuck out to me, and then this one stuck out to me, and it's a quote by Marcus Garvey, and it's, "A people without the knowledge of their past history is like a tree without roots." Oh, that, like, that's all I can say is that, right? Like, it's so, people say it all the time. If you don't know where you've been, you really don't know where you're going, right? If you don't know where you came from, if you don't know the history, if you don't know the trials, the tribulations, the sacrifices, that your ancestors, your parents, your grandparents, cousins, think that they have all went through for you to be where you are, no matter where that is. There are a lot of us, including myself, that's not where I want to be in life. But I know that for me, being here, period, the history and the things that had to align for me to be here and alive today, it blows my mind sometimes. So yeah, that really resonated with me, because you can, like a tree, you can, on the surface have a good front of, living, right? But if you don't dig down those roots and explore those roots and explore your history, not just general Black history, like general Black history, yes, know it, understand it, recognize it, but also your own personal Black history. Think about, things your grandparents have done, great grandparents, your parents, hell, my grandparents grew up in the Civil War, not Civil War, during, not the Civil War. My parents would be so mad if they heard me say that they grew up during the Civil War. The Civil Rights Movement. My parents grew up in that time frame. So, knowing your own personal history. So here I am. First, I got to get rid of the lines that's down there. So I'm going to put my white box, same scenario, just take a screenshot of a white space and then make it fit to the space that you want it to be in. And then I'm going to make it as big as I need it to be. And then I'm going to use that to be the background for the quote that I typed out from that I saw on Google, that I found on Google. And you got to make sure you cut it so that way it goes on top. That's the thing about good notes. You got to always cut and paste to make sure you get the things you want on top to be on top. and the things you want in the background to be in the background. So I had to do that with my hands as well, because I didn't want the white box covering up the hands. So then what I decided to do was, I thought it looked a little plain, just like a white box. Like, it looks a little plain. First, we're going to clean it up a little bit with a white pencil, because sometimes I can't get my box to be exact. So this is, you just take the pencil, change it to the white color, and then just, color over the little lines, and then it's like, same thing. But it makes it look a lot neater. Like, see how much neater that is? Look down at the bottom. Yep, right there. So I did that with my pencil to get all the black, to get all the lines that were still there to not be there. So then it looks like just the blank space instead of the lines for the days of the week being there. So I take a look, see, how it looks, how I'm feeling about it, what's bothering me, what's not bothering me. And so I'm going to edit that a little bit. And what I kind of saw that I wanted was something in the background, right? I didn't like just that big old space there, just there, it was just sitting there. So I was trying to think of things that I could put there to kind of help it out a little bit. I was thinking stickers at first, but I wasn't sure about a sticker. You see, I'm trying to play around with the heart, because I was like, maybe, I don't know, I didn't really like it, but I left it there. And I had the idea of, okay, why don't we go with a tree? A tree is mentioned in the quote. Let's go find us a tree. So back to good old Google, and I'm looking for a tree, one that kind of showcases what the quote is talking about. Now I don't want the actual tree there, so what you'll see me doing here is going to Procreate. I'm going to import that picture, which, y'all see how pixelated it is? But since I'm turning down the opacity, is that what opacity of the image, I was like, it's not gonna matter anyway. So I turn down the opacity. I make sure I export it as a PNG, so that way it does not have a background. And then I'm going to put it in the background of my quote. And I really liked how it turned out. I was like really proud of myself. But yeah, I was like, this is neat. This is neat. It looks real weird right now. But once you put the quote back over it, and then I kind of resized it to fit, I resized it to fit the area a little bit more. I really liked how it turned out. Okay, so now we're gonna go back and handle February. I was not feeling it. I was not feeling it. I was like, maybe I'll make it, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just, as you can see, just going through different fonts, just trying different fonts, because I did not like it. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I think this is the best that is probably gonna be, because I couldn't find the font that I really was like, not even that I was wanting. I think it was just another one of those things where I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want. And seeing some of those other fonts, I was like, oh yeah, I know I do not want any of those. So yeah, here I'm just redoing the hands, because it was caught behind the tree down at the bottom. And I'm just looking to see what is it I like. And the thing that I was toying with was, I did not like the blue background on the headers for the days of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I did not like that blue background. Now, I don't have video of it, but I did change it. Okay, so I don't have video of it, but this is how I changed it. Doesn't that yellow look so much better? Like, right? I'm hoping you're saying yes, because I'm saying right? So like, ooh, right? It just looks so much better. So I did not catch it on video, and I'm real mad that I turned off the screen record because I thought I was done, and the camera that I had like outside of the iPad, like showing the iPad, I had recorded the whole thing in time lapse. So by the time I realized it, this 2-hour long video was like 24 seconds. Ugh. But basically what I did was I did another screenshot, and I found the color for the yellow in the fist, and then I just did the same thing. I take a screenshot of a little piece of the yellow, and I put it over, and then I typed in the days of the week over it. So I'm getting better at each of these every single time. That's what I tell myself. I'm going to get better. And one of these days I won't have camera problems, or, I turned off screen record too early problems. So we're going to move over to my monthly overview calendar. So over here, I kind of keep it a little bit more low key than I do the big monthly planner. Like if you look at my January one, which, did I notice I had something typed up at the top? I don't know. You can see I kind of put paydays, I put holidays, and I put little balloons for birthdays. We ain't got no birthdays this month, so this monthly overview is going to be even more easier to complete. So this one's not as bad. I put my goals. I put my monthly to-do list, because like I said earlier, you got to do a million little things to reach up to those goals. So the one thing I wanted to carry forward into my February monthly overview was strategize and execute. That was a big thing that I wanted to be for my January, but listen, I got sick and I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't strategizing, I wasn't executing, I wasn't doing nothing. None of the sort. So I said, let me take this, strategize and execute, and we're going to move it over to February. We're just going to carry it forward, right? We're going to roll it over like singular minutes. So I didn't know where it was going to be. So I just put it there and said, we'll deal with it later. We'll figure it out later. Let me do my little calendar first. So I'm going to crop the Valentine's Day words, because it's a big old box. Y'all see that big ass box? It's a big old box. So I had to crop that down a little bit. One of these days where I'm not going to say where I have free time, because no. One of these days I'm going to put it on my to-do list to do that to all of those holidays, just so that it's nice and compact. And then I'm going to put it on for February, since it's a holiday there. And then that's really the only holiday in February, because that's it. At least the only holiday I care about. I understand President's Day, we get the day off, but I ain't doing nothing for President's Day. That ain't, thank you for the day off, but that's not really it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really, doing something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any other holidays to put on here other than Valentine's Day. So I'm going to add that here. I'm looking to see, where do I want it? How do I like it? That sort of thing. Okay, so now that I also kind of fixed up a few of the numbers, I'm going back and forth because I do plan to print my planner this year. I didn't print my planner last year, and it's mainly because I switched up the planner that I was using. I went from a horizontal planner to a vertical planner. So trying to get something like that printed out, it just wasn't going to be good. So what I'm trying to, in the back of my mind, as I'm planning my pages, is thinking about cohesion within the 2 pages that would be open at one time in a book, right? So like when I get this printed, I expect my February main calendar to be on the left side of the book, and then this one to be on the right side of the book. So I try to keep that in mind when I do even my weekly planner pages, to, try and see if there's a little bit of cohesion between the two. So that's what I'm doing when I go back and forth from, oh, I realized it was there, good for me. I try and see if there's a way to bring in some elements from the page that would be on the left to the page on the right, and vice versa, because sometimes I can plan a page and I'll be like, ooh, I like this one ahead of my weekly, or whatever the case is. But if I know what page is going to be on the other side of another page, I try to bring in elements from one to the other. And so that's what I did with the hearts. I was like, let me bring the heart over, and that's at least something that's shared between the 2 pages. So because I knew we weren't going to I don't have no birthdays in February, I was like, we can use this spot for something else. At the time, I didn't know what it was, but I knew it wasn't gonna be for birthdays. Cause we ain't got that. Because we don't have any. So I knew that was going to be like an empty space, empty area. And so what I decided to do was I can put my strategize and execute in that area, right? So I took another screenshot, copied it, so that way I can take away those lines that's in that middle part right there. And then I head over and get my strategize and execute, that text that's over there. And you got to make sure you cut that way it can be on top. And I stick it over there, and I'm just like, okay, I like it here. We got to do something else with it. Not sure exactly what, but I'm liking it right here. It kind of puts it to the center of the page. It forces you to look at it. To me, at least, it forces me to look at it. So that way it's a big part of my page, which is what I want. When I look at my page, I want to be reminded of the things that I need to do. I want to be reminded of my focuses. I want to be, that sort of thing. It's not just to look pretty. It's actually some intention behind it, and some, a purpose behind it. So I'm looking to see what can I, use from the first page to bring over onto the second page, because like I said, I want there to be a little bit of cohesion. So that's what I'm thinking, like cohesion. I wasn't sure if I wanted the monthly overview to be at the top. I was thinking maybe I could put another Black History Month clip art, or Black History Month clip art there. But then I was thinking, if the 2 pages are side by side and I already have Black History Month right there in the top right of the left page, I'm not going to want it again on the top left of the second page. So I was like, monthly overview is just going to have to stay right here. It's just going to have to stay right here. So then what I decide to do is, I'm just lost. So I go back to Google and like, let me see if there's something here that can inspire me, give me an idea. And it did. So I'm just looking through, trying to see what I like, what kind of like jumps out at me. And the thing that jumped out at me was, you see on the left hand side, the graphic that has the red, yellow, and green. They're kind of at an angle. I really like that. So originally I wanted to do some type of like ombre of red into yellow into green, but I didn't have time like that. I was trying to hurry up and do this before I had to feed my family lunch for the day. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can do this. So at first I was trying to think of how can I use that image and just get the red, yellow, and green. And I'm just trying to, think like, can I don't know. And I couldn't really figure out how I could do it. So I said, you know what, we gonna make it. We gonna make it. So I go back to my Black History over here, and I take a screenshot so I can have a square. Because essentially, you know, diamonds are nothing more than squares that are rotated. That's what I was, you know, thinking in my head. So I said, I can make this on my own. I can do this on my own. So I grabbed the red. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna grab yellow, and then I'm gonna grab green, all from that Black History part. So this is also where I grab the yellow. So you see how the yellow goes into the fist is because I did this same thing to do the headers for the days of the week. I took a screenshot. I took a screenshot of a piece of yellow, and then I pasted it and just made it the size that I wanted it to be. So I'm doing that same thing here. So I did the red, I did the yellow, and then I'm gonna go into the green. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna resize them so that way they can be at an angle, right? And y'all, this was so trial and error. I did not know if it was gonna work. I was like, I don't know. I was not sure. So I was like, let me just see how it's gonna turn out. And so in my mind, I was like, well, if I got this big old thing here, you know, and I'm looking, you know, at that one image to see how it was looking. So I was like, okay, if I have this big old thing, and that's what I'm debating here is I have this big old thing, how am I going to get it to only be like just the square? Because, you know, when you put it at an angle, you see all this extra stuff. You see all the extra on the left side for the yellow, and then for the green, it's going to be the same way. And then, you know, you have to make it really long so that way it can cover the whole base, right? So, yeah, I was thinking about all this. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I'm trying to get my green to match up, you know, as far as angle wise is concerned. And I think I must have did something, so I just had to redo it over. But I wanted it to, at least the angles, to match up. But this was my first time doing anything like this. Usually I use you know, like I'll go to Etsy and just buy some stickers. And that's probably what I would have done, except for the fact that I already used my Etsy money for my budget this month. So I didn't want to go to Etsy because I was like, you already used your Etsy money for this month. I only got 2 days left in the month. You can survive. So I was like, you got to figure it out. You just got to figure it out. And so that's what I had to do. So I was like, okay, let me take a screenshot of the actual, you know, like an actual rectangle. And y'all, the shit, it worked. Like, look. So I'm gonna copy it. And when I paste it, of course, it's not perfect. But then I'm gonna go and crop it. And so now I'm gonna crop it down to a perfect rectangle that I want it to be. And I had to redo it. So as you can see, I didn't like that it wasn't a lot of red at the top, and the yellow seemed to kind of like overpower the whole thing. So at first I was gonna go with it. I was like, man, that was a lot of work. We just gonna go with it. But it really irked me. It was like that little tap tap tap, you know how like the water fountain, your water faucet be just like tapping water. That's how it was. It was tap tap tapping me, and I was like, no, I can't. It was irking me. So I undid. I hit undo on everything so I could get my stuff back. And so I brought the yellow down. I brought the green down so that way I could get a little bit more red into the thing. And I just took a screenshot, which it only took me a few seconds, which I don't know why I was tripping like, nah, I don't want to redo it. It only took me a couple of seconds to redo it. So I redid it, and you can see it's a little bit more red at the top. The yellow still kind of was like a good majority of it, but I was definitely a lot more fine with it this way than I was before. This one was definitely like, okay, I can live with this one. The little bitty of red from before, I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I'm putting that here, and it's just going to cover up that whole area because I didn't like the task. I don't like the task part. So just finding the right size, that way it gets to where it's going to be. And then this is going to be my to-do list. So I keep a monthly to-do list of things that I want to get done during the month, because y'all know how it is. Time flies. Time will fly all the way by. So I try to keep a monthly to-do list, and it helps because when I do my weekly planning, I'll refer back to my monthly goals. I'll refer back to my monthly to-do list, so that way I can figure out, what I need to do each week. So I had the idea of having a black background for the monthly goals. You see at the top, monthly goals. I was thinking, okay, let's bring some black into this, because I have the red, the yellow, and the green. I was like, let's bring a little bit of black into it. So I just took a pen, scribbled some black, and then took a screenshot. So that's how I got this black box. I'm pretty sure there's an easier way, but I don't know it. I'll just be honest, I don't know it. So whenever I want just a box in a specific color, I'll just take my pencil, I'll just do a little bit of scribble, and then I'll take a screenshot, a very small screenshot, because you can make the screenshot as big or large as you want it to be. So that's what I do. Because when you try and do the fill the box, I don't like that the fill the box is a muted color of whatever the border color is, right? And hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Like when you make a square, when you use the shapes tool and you make a square, you're like, oh, fill the box. If I make this square in red, the fill the box part will be like a light red pinkish color. And it's like, no, I want you to fill the box with the same red. And I don't know how to do that. So this was my workaround. So here I'm playing around with doing how I want my monthly goals to look with the black box. And spoiler alert, I am not going to keep the black box. I did not like how it looked. It just, I didn't like it. And it just wasn't meshing. It wasn't, and I don't know, I did not like it. And you can see I'm literally like just looking at my page, trying to figure out what else can I do. Then it dawns on me, do the same shit you did on the previous page, right? So I'm gonna go back to my monthly planner page, and I'm going to take a copy, take a small little square, same type of thing, a small square screenshot of that yellow, and I'm going to change it to yellow instead of it being black. So this is another way that I can have cohesion, and I was like, maybe this will look a little bit better with using the yellow. And this is the same yellow that's in what will be my future to-do list, that's down there at the bottom underneath the calendar. So that's what I decided to do, was to use the yellow, because this, trust me, it looks a lot better than the black box that was up there. It just wasn't the same. And so I'm putting my monthly goals, and I'm putting it all lowercase because I thought I was going to use the Cynthia font. And like I said, Cynthia just looks so much better when it's all lowercase versus using the proper upper and lowercase. It just looks so much better, but I'm not gonna like it. I'm just like, yeah. And I can't remember if it's here I change it or if it's somewhere else, but I didn't like it. I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. So I went back to old reliable Jen Plans. And then I start to think about my goals for the month. Now that I have that and I actually like how it looks, I'm going to remove those lines. I never type on the lines of a planner. I don't know why. Maybe that can be a challenge for me one of these months, but I don't ever write on the lines that's provided to me in my planner. I just be like, nope, gonna cover it up. So, anyway, I started to think about my goals, and I had this idea of using the heart for my bullet points, because it was just sitting there and it just wasn't as cute as I thought it was going to be. So I was like, let me shrink it, make it smaller, and this can now be the bullet points for my monthly goals. I usually give myself 4 or 5 monthly goals. This month I decided to only do 4 since this is essentially my first month of the year. Maybe like my first month and a half of the year. January was like a half a month for me because of getting sick. So I said, let's start back in a little bit slowly. Let's not overwhelm ourselves. So I decided to only have 4 goals for February. And so when I think about my goals, I think about a lot of things. So like I have, of course, my family. I have my 9-to-5 business. I have a custom fabric business. I have myself. Let me make sure I put that on top of the list. I have myself, which is actually one of the goals that I started off with, was getting back to myself, taking care of myself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And so getting back to working out. So I had a workout regimen probably about late summer, early fall. So probably about August, September, October-ish, where I was working out 5 times a week. I was doing strength workouts, and I was doing my cardio. Listen, I was that girl for those months. Then of course the holidays hit, and I was just like, oh, I'm that girl now. So I wanted to get back on track in January, but that shit didn't happen. So I said, okay, let's get back into it for February. Get back into our routine, where I have my strength training, and then I also have my cardio. For my cardio, I do a step class, which I love to do. So it's just getting back into the routine of doing all of that. So I'm just going to copy and paste that same goal for all 4 for right now, just so I can get everything lined up where I want it to be. And that way I also have my font where I need it to be. So the second goal that I wanted to do was to do with my finances. So originally I was going to be like, I need to stay on track with my budget. I did it for January, but part of it was because for like 2 weeks I couldn't do nothing. But what I did for January, I was in a challenge, and it was called the Eat at Home. No, it was called the You Got Food at Home, Eat at Home Challenge, something like that. And so I was really into it because we was a little out of control with our eating out in November and December, not just because of the holidays, but because we were also traveling those 2 months. So we was eating out a lot more than normal. And so I was like, we need to rein this shit back in. So January we did the challenge to eat at home, and we probably only ate outside of the home maybe 3 times in the month. Now part of that was also because I was sick, so I was chicken noodle soup all day every day, or like some grapes or fruit. But it felt good to like have a menu to plan, to cook, that sort of thing. But we did eat out probably about 3 times, and most of that was when I was sick, because when I was sick, I was the only one sick. And the kids, they still got to eat. My husband still got to eat, but I didn't feel like cooking. So there was like 2 nights where, I just told my husband, order some pizza for you and the girls. I'm going to be up in the room. Y'all do what you do. So I think we ate out like twice. So this month I want to continue with that challenge, eating at home primarily, but I'm gonna give myself 4 times this month to eat out. And we have some things going on in March and in other months where I want to use this month to celebrate. Like this month is going to be a celebration, enjoying family this month. So I don't want to limit myself as much. So here you'll see I'm going back to my January to look. What did I have as a goal that I did not achieve? And it's my notary practice. Is it a notary practice? Notary business. So one of the things that is on my vision board is to have multiple streams of income. And one of the things that I'm going to try it, and One of the things I'm going to do to have multiple streams of income is to be a loan signing agent. So the process to start that is to become a notary public. I don't know why I keep wanting to say notary republic, because it's not republic, it's a notary public. So I've already been accepted by my state as a notary. I just need to do the training, and I need to do my part. Essentially, I got to do my part. And I'm still on track with doing my part. I wanted to take the process of being a loan signing agent and make it a year-long process, because I don't want to rush it, right? So the process would be, I become a notary, then I can become an online notary. My state allows for online notaries. Then after being an online notary, I will do the classes and everything to be a loan signing agent. And then after being a loan signing agent, I will do what I need to do to be a virtual loan signing agent. So that's the big plan. Big plan is to be a virtual loan signing agent. So that is another stream of income for myself, right? So I'm within my 3 months of doing my notary process. And originally I was going to give myself a goal to actually notarize something this month. But I'm like, no, this is the reason why you wanted to stretch out this process, is so you don't become overwhelmed. And I think if I had put on myself, when I don't even have the supplies that I need, I haven't taken the classes, because I do want to be certified by NNA. It's not required, but that's what I want. I feel like that would have been putting too much pressure on me this month to say, do the training, get the supplies, and notarize somebody's documents. Nah, let's slow that down. This is why we gave yourself a year to get stuff, in order. And I gave myself 3 months for each step of the process. So I really have until the end of March in my own mind before I even look at being an online notary, but just being a regular notary. So I was like, let's do that for this month. This month, let's worry about the training and the supplies. And then next month, we can worry about actually notarizing somebody's documents. So I think that kind of helped me, because sometimes you have to set your goals to be realistic and also easily attainable. I know sometimes people don't like having easy goals or easy attainable goals, but it feels really good when you at the end of the month can look back and be like, oh yeah, I achieved this. And you can have your challenge goals, but you also need your I know I can get this shit done goals. You know what I mean? So for my fourth goal, I just wasn't sure what my goal was going to be. So what I decided to do was go back to my to-do list for January, kind of look at it, see was there something on here that could be a goal, not just a to-do thing I needed to do, but like, is there something on here that, could actually be a goal for the month of February? I didn't really see anything that jumped out at me. So I decided to go back to my vision board. Whenever I'm stuck on a goal for the month, I go back to my vision board. My vision board lets me know, what did I see for myself? Where did I see myself going? Where do I see myself being? What do I see myself, doing? Right? And so I look back at my vision board and say, what can I get done this month to be a step closer to achieving what's on my vision board? So this is my vision board, and then I have a second part to my vision board where it has each goals for these areas of my life. I like how Tia Raquel, who's also a digital planner, how she breaks her life up into, I don't want to say categories, but just different subsets, right? And it allows her to really see and focus on, okay, I like that this is going good in this part of my life, but let's work on this other part of my life that may not be up to par to where I want it to be. And so one of the things that I noticed I didn't have in my goals was something related to my business. So I was like, okay, let's get a business goal put out there. And I have a product that I am releasing for my business. I have a custom fabric business. And I have a product that I'm releasing in February. And so I said, you know what? Let's make my goal. This will be my challenge goal. This will be my you know, I don't know if I'm going to get this done goal. And it's going to be to sell out of my new product that I am launching in February. So it's custom labels, and it's of course geared to anyone that sews, which I'm pretty sure a majority of those watching this is like, nope, not me, sis. So I have these labels that I designed, and I said that's going to be my challenge goal, is I want to sell out of those labels this month. So we're going to see if, I'm going to work towards it, and that's going to be my big goal. That's going to be my challenge goal. So now I'm moving over to my strategize and execute. And the thing that I, wanted was for it to stand out, and we're going to decorate it a little bit. So I decided to do the same thing with the yellow kind of header line. I like that. So I was like, okay, let's do that all the way down. So I'm going to do the same thing, take a little screenshot of my yellow, and I'm going to copy and paste it over to this part. And at first I didn't know what I wanted it to say. I was thinking affirmations at one point, but I was like, nah, it's not really an affirmation. It's more like a thing, right? It's not an affirmation. So then I realized, I was like, why don't I just title it as my focus for the month? I know Tia Raquel, she has a focus for the month. And so I was like, that's what it can be. This is going to be my focus, to make sure I can strategize and execute for the month. And I think this may be something I keep for every month. It's just funny that we didn't have any I don't have any birthdays this month. So that's the main reason why this was, kind of like a free space to design. But I think I may start doing a focus for the month, because I really do like having that, to strategize and execute. So that's what I'm going to put there. Okay, so now that I have that situated, now what I want to do is get my to-do list started, because I know what my goals are, right? Now that I know what my goals are, let's put the things that we need to do to meet those goals. And the first step is to actually go back to January and see what things I did not finish in the month of January. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to just turn on my text boxes, so I only copy the text, and I'm going to copy all of those over to February, because I know there are things that I just did not do. I wasn't here for the second half of January, so I know there's stuff I didn't do. So I'm going to create this to-do list. And I'm going to go through and take out the things that I actually did complete and add some new stuff to the bottom of things that I want to do in February, or things I need to do, would like to do in February. So the first thing I'm going to do is start to take out the things that I did accomplish in the month of January. So I know for sure those first two can go ahead and go, because those were completed. I did not complete updating my resume. I have a job opening. There is a job opening that's gonna be available at my 9 to 5, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to qualify for it. So I want to update my resume so that way once it hits, I can make sure I meet all the requirements and I can go ahead and apply. Because what if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I did not set up a new routine calendar for content creation. So one of the things that I want to try to do more of is batch creating, whether it's TikToks, IG Reels, YouTube, whatever it is. I want to create a routine calendar. So whether I say, every Wednesday I'm going to do TikToks, and I'm a batch record like 10 TikToks that day. I just want to get myself into a routine calendar so that way I have content to be able to publish. Right now, what you see pretty much is done the same day, maybe the day before. And I got to get out of that because I can't be doing it every single day. It's just not going to work. And then next I have to set up my new auto pays for my bills. I do not like auto pay. I just do not like auto pay. I'm the type of person, you'll get your money when you get your money. Okay? This is my money until I decide that it can be your money. But, being an adult and growth and, all that jazz, I'm starting to, realize kind of some good things about auto pay. So I want to set that up for some of my bills. I had my mommy and daughter date with Anaya, and then this month I'm not going to do a daughter date with any of my girls. This month is more for my husband to do his daddy-daughter dates with them. I have a magazine feature that I'm going to be doing. It's not due until March, and I had one in January that I had to do, and it was due in January, and it was hectic getting it done in the same month that it was due. And I don't want to do that again. So my one for March, I'm actually just going to leave that on here, and I want to complete it in February, so that way I'm well ahead of the March deadline. I did not update my Pinterest board with any of my sewing makes, so that definitely needs to stay on there. I think I did update my shipping policy. I know when I was doing my planner, I just was not sure if I had updated it or not. So I just decided to just let it sit there. And if I did it in January, we just gonna count it as a achievement for February. But for my business, I needed to update my shipping policy because I think when I was doing some of my numbers, I ended up paying like 25% more in shipping than what my customers paid to me. And that is not sustainable. So I had to update my shipping policy and the pricing of my shipping. So I think that was something that I did, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're just going to leave that on my to-do list. And then I have to create some more labels and pattern designs for my business. I am looking to go back to school, so I got to get with the community college here so I can get that done. I'm taking off finding seed beads. My daughters originally wanted to have a jewelry thing. They was making jewelry and they needed some seed beads. So I was trying to find some vendors to do wholesale, but they decided they didn't want to do it no more. So it kind of worked out that I didn't get it done. So I'm adding some more stuff to my to-do list and some of this is stuff that I should have did. So I need to do my end of the month fabric inventory. Originally, I was going to file my taxes, but then I had to check my own damn self. I know I'm not going to file my taxes this month. I don't never file my taxes in February. Like, never ever. Even before I had my own business, I never filed my taxes this early. So I'm not even about to sit here and play myself and be like, I'm gonna do my end of month fabric inventory for my business and file my taxes in the same month. Nah, sis, nah. We just not even gonna we just not even gonna sit here and play ourselves like that. So I just went ahead and took file taxes off. But what I can do is make sure I complete the things I need to complete in order to file my taxes later on. And one of those is to finish my business financial spreadsheets. I have the bulk of everything that I need done, but I really want to drill into some specifics of it and make sure all the numbers match, and especially after doing my end of month inventory to make sure what I physically have on count is what my computer says I should have on count. Also this month I want to start the girls on their STEM summer program applications. They go to a STEAM school. They go to a STEM school. Yes, STEAM because arts. They go to a STEAM school, and I know of 2 different summer programs so far that are STEM focused, and I want them to go to it. And I want to go ahead and start the applications like now. I know some of the deadlines aren't until like March or April, but my March is going to be kind of heavy. So I want to do as much as I can this month to avoid doing a lot in March. I put spend time with my husband on my to-do list because sometimes, and he has definitely vocalized this to me before, sometimes I'm so caught up into, as you can see, the other things I have going on, that I don't stop and just relax. And that's his thing. He just likes to relax. He likes to chill. So I want to make sure I spend some time with him because he has to go play Army soon. And I want to make sure that I get in some good quality time with him before he has to leave. So we're going to underline that, make sure it is a priority that I do not miss. So, as I mentioned before, I got some trips in March coming up. So I'm going to have to prep for those. I'm not going to give too much information. Just I need to prep for my March trips because I have 2 different trips that I'm going on. So half of March, I will not even be here. So I need to make sure I am good to go on that. And then I have to register my daughter, my middle one, for tennis because the registration for that is actually in March, but it opens up in February. But it's only like 2 days it's open in February. And then the main registration dates are in March, but I'm not going to be here. So I'm like, let me make sure I get it done before we go on these trips, or else she will probably kill me. She will probably kill me because y'all saw how much my oldest daughter is in and does between basketball and tennis. And so I want to make sure she gets equal consideration when it comes to the sports that she wants to do. Also on my to-do list is order fabric for my business. I deal with vendors who are overseas, and their linear new year is February 1st. So they're closed right now in observation of their holidays. So I don't want to miss when they open back up. So I got to put that on my to-do list so that way I do not miss it. Of course, ordering my notary supplies and taking my online class. These are things that, you know, like I said, those little things that add up to meeting those goals. Somehow my text went down to the wrong side. So that's all you see me doing there is updating the text size. And then, y'all, my birthday is next month. I'm so excited. So I'm going to create some birthday photo shoot outfits. I'm going to have my birthday photo shoot while I'm on my trip. I may do one here too. I don't know yet. I don't know. It's my 35th, so I am really excited. So I just got to figure out what I'm going to sew for my photo shoot and for my birthday because I don't know yet. But I was like, this is February. It's the month before. You got to sew some stuff up. And then that's where you see I'm sew some creations. And then the other important thing I need to do is reach out to the high school guidance counselors. My daughter is going to high school next school year. And I want to make sure she's lined up for success. And like I mentioned earlier, here in Texas, you can kind of go to whatever school you want. But the one thing I want to make sure of is whatever school she goes to, that she stays on track with the progression that she's made at the STEM school. For instance, she's, taking French. And so by the time if she graduates from the STEM school, she will have not only met like the 2 years of French, but she'll also have her high school credits for French. So she wouldn't have to take French at all. And she's actually thinking about majoring in French when she gets to college. So that would be awesome. She doesn't know yet. It's still very early for her to, be making those decisions, and she can always change her mind. But if a school doesn't even have French as an option, then that's just not going to be a school we go to. And some of the schools here are focused on specific things. Like there's a high school here it's focused on those that maybe want to go into the medical field, right? They have a high school here that it's just focused on different things, right? So I wouldn't probably send her to the high school that focuses on medical because they may not have the extra arts piece that she would need for those French classes. Instead, they have like more science, biology classes for you to take. They probably have like more chemistry classes for you to take because that's more down the medical field versus, what she's looking for. And she ain't looking or checking for anything medical at all. Let me tell you, she's just like, nope, not my thing. So I do want to reach out to the high school guidance counselors early, so that way by April we can already know what school she's going to be going to, because I'm pretty sure they're going to have sports tryouts and other type of summer programs at the high school, and I want to make sure she is on track to where she needs to go. So all that to say, my to-do list is done and it's looking pretty good, right? So the last thing that we need to tackle is this space over here for events. I don't need that space for events, so I gotta try and figure out what it is that I want to put right here, because I don't know. So I just wasn't sure. So the first thing I'm gonna go and look at are my stickers. And as I start to think about my stickers, I realized, Quinora, you have already been down this road. You know that you don't have any stickers that match like this one did. You see how the focus on the positive with the gold and the black matched for January? I realized you don't have any stickers. You've already looked. We were looking earlier. It's not there, sis. Don't know what you're looking for. So I decided to copy and paste the red, yellow, and green creation that I did. I decided to copy that over to the other side, and I decided, you know what, I'll just put a picture here, my own picture, to put my own picture here, and that's what I put there, instead of trying to find some sticker. So that's what you see me doing here, is putting that there, but then I gotta line it up with the little box that's there. And I said I'll just put my own picture and call it a day, because I don't really have any stickers that have this, color design. So that's what we're doing here. And I take a screenshot of some white space to put in the middle, so then it becomes almost like a picture frame. So a picture frame, that design that I did now becomes a picture frame because I have this white in the middle. See, same thing. It's just, now it looks a little bit different because I put a picture there. So I decided to go to my camera roll, and at first I was trying to find a picture of me and the family, but I realized we ain't take no pictures this month. Like, who's taking pictures this month? Not me. And then, so the only pictures I really took this month are pictures that are for my magazine feature, which I cannot share right now. I can't share until the magazine actually comes out. And since I plan on posting this on YouTube and my Instagram, I can't use those pictures. So I'm just going back, trying to figure out, what am I going to use? What am I going to do? So I tried this one originally. This is a picture I actually was in the magazine a few months ago. So I was thinking this one because I had a Ankara or African fabric was used for the jacket. And I was like, maybe I could use that one. I was trying to size it, put it, to where it would work. But ultimately, I didn't like it. I tried different sizes, excuse me. And I just didn't like how it was turning out. It just wasn't the right format, wasn't the right shape that I wanted. So I try to make it work, and eventually I just come to the realization it's just not going to work. And I think it's because of the size of the picture, and you don't want to blow it up too much on one side and not the other. So I go back to my albums, and I go to my Lightroom album, because Lightroom is what I use for a lot of my editing of my pictures. So I go here and kind of scroll through to see which pictures I think I may want to put here. So I have a lot of pictures, sewing makes primarily. So I decided to use this one, this little black dress that I had made. I had posted it on social media maybe once or twice, but I was like, this can be the black that I'm missing for my Pan-African colors. I already got the red, I got the yellow, I got the green, and now I got the black in this outfit, right? So I decided to use this picture. So I'm just trying to get it to where it just fits the dimensions of that white box that I had created So that way the rest of it around my picture then looks like it's a picture frame. I was thinking of doing it like a matte type picture, but that didn't work. I didn't like how that looked. So I was like, let me go back to covering up the white space, letting the white space be my guide on how big I wanted the picture to be. And voila, the picture is done. So I'm looking back, and then I need to change my title at the top, because clearly this isn't a monthly goal. And so I'm just trying to think of different titles that I can put there. I was thinking of so many different things in my mind, like Blacknificent. I think I put I don't even remember all the things I was thinking and what I actually typed. You see the cursor's just sitting there because I didn't know what I was gonna put. Loving me, I think is what or loving myself, I think is what I was gonna put, and I was just like, I don't like that so much. So I was like, nope, let's try again. And then I was gonna put Black Everyday. It was just trial and error until I figured out what it was that I liked. And I think I finally settled on all black everything. Is I think what I settled on. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I think I may even change it after. I'm going to sleep on it and see how I like it. But it was definitely better than anything. That was the best thing I could come up with at the time. So once I have that changed, now my spread is actually done, my monthly overview. And I'm really liking it. I think it really, gels with the previous page, but it also can stand alone on its own. I have my to-do list that's going to help me in doing my weekly, I see myself, I love myself. So I'm really, really, really feeling it. So now what I'm going to do, I realized that I did not put my paydays on the calendar. January was a great month for me and my husband because we got paid every Friday. It was just great. One of us was getting paid every Friday. So I'm just going to put my paydays here on my February calendar. I get paid every 2 weeks. He's 1st and 15th, like most military. And it just helps so that way I can eyeball and see when our paydays are coming up. Eventually, I want to get to the point where it's like I forget that it's payday, but we ain't at that point right now. Right now, we're at the point where I need to know when paydays are. So I'm putting them here on the calendar, which this is going to be kind of a crazy month because we both get paid in 1 week. We each get paid in the same week. And then there'll be 1 week where nothing's coming in, which is fine because this is why we budget. But now that I have my paydays on there, I can look at my calendar, look at my page now and be like, okay, I think this is where I want it to be. I'm liking everything about it. I got my goals up here, my focus for the month, and it's really looking the way I like it to look. So now what I'm gonna do is actually look at the 2 pages together, just so I can kind of get a feel of how it's going to look together. Okay, so I wanted to rotate it so that way you ain't trying to rotate your neck. So I put the two together side by side and I am really liking it. So I make it a little bit bigger just so that way you can kind of see it a little bit more. And this is what it would look like if I open up my book, this is what it would look like. And I'm really liking it. I like how the two play well off of one another. I think I may actually go back in and add that heart add another big heart to the monthly overview page. But I don't know. I'll see how I feel about it. But seeing the 2 pages side by side, I try to do this every once in a while just to kind of look at it, see what it would look like once it is printed out. and I'm really feeling it. So this was a great monthly start, a monthly spreader page to start off this month. And I'm hoping that, nope, not hoping, I am going to work to make sure I get all my goals achieved. So thanks for joining me on this extra long real-time video of me doing my monthly planner at the beginning of the month. Let me know down in the comments, did you stay and watch the whole thing? Because this thing is almost 2 hours. Do you like the extended video time where I do it in real time for the most part? Or do you like the time-lapse type videos? I'm able to do both, and I'm actually going to have both. So check out the time-lapse video that's linked here in this video.